What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope all doing well. Let's start with the NBA Finals. The New York Knicks have won an NBA Finals game. It seems foreign to even say it out loud. To defeat the Spurs 105 to 95 in game one. Not a great first half. They were down by 7 at the half, or down by as many as 14 in the third quarter. They come back for a big second half, and they win 105 to 95. Brunson was not very efficient throughout the game. He nicked himself up his knee very early on. He sat for probably 10 to 15 minutes, and then he nicked his ankle like right after coming back as well. He actually got very angry at the ref. He was clearly frustrated. But he battled through it, hit a bunch of clutch shots that had that corner three, that crazy floater he hit, ends up with 30 points. Cat plays well, especially in the second half of 18 and 12. OG, who struggled a lot in the first half, hits a couple of big shots in the fourth quarter at the top when it mattered, ends up with 17 points in the game. Shannon with 3 13 points off the bench. Knicks win 105-95. They hold Wembanyama just 6 of 21 from the field. He finished with 26 points and 12 rebounds. De'Aaron Fox really struggled for the San Antonio Spurs. He's been rough pretty much all postseason. He's playing on a bad ankle. He's definitely not 100%. He had just 7 points and just 3 of 13 shooting. Did not make a single three in the game. Then Vassell just 9 points, 4 of 11, 1 of 6 from 3. Julian Champagnie had 5 threes in the first half. Didn't make a single field goal in the second half. Dylan Harper 16 points with both the bench on 6 of 10 shooting. Knicks win 105-95. Game 2 is tonight at 8:30 on ABC. Of course, the series remains in San Antonio. This is a big game. Knicks didn't play well in that game, so they should be better. The Spurs should be a lot better as well. Victor Wembanyama, like I mentioned, just 6 of 21 from the field in game one. So I assume he's going to play better. So both teams should come out and play better. So this should be a really interesting game. So big game, game two. Knicks up 1-0 in the NBA Finals. Onto a random sports dump. Jets signed Jason Sanders. He is a good kicker. He spent his entire career with the Miami Dolphins for the last 7 seasons. You look at his numbers, he's made almost 85% of all of his field goals. He's only missed a couple of extra points throughout his career. He's only missed, let's see, 2, 3, 6, 9 extra points is all he's missed in 7 years. He's got some really crazy range as well. From 50, he is, let's see, 40s, 33 of 48 from 50 plus. Looks like, so like he's a very good kicker. Was first team All-Pro in 2020. One of the better kickers in the NFL for sure. And he joined the Jets. Nick Folk last year in the homecoming had a great year, but he left in free agency. So the Jets bring in Jason Sanders, longtime Dolphins kicker. I'm surprised the Dolphins didn't re-sign him. He actually had signed, I think, to the Giants. And then they actually recently cut him, which was a surprise, and just scooped him up. The Steelers extend Darnell Washington 4 years and $42 million with $21 million guaranteed. I do like this signing. Now, right now, Darnell Washington is, because of what he's done, probably isn't worth whatever it is. That comes to about $10.5 million a season. But I've always liked this kid coming out of Georgia. I mean, this guy is enormous. He's a large man. He was a third-round pick in 2023. Wasn't using the passing game much in his first 2 years, so especially in his first year. But he's gotten better every single season. He's great in the as a run blocker. Last year, 31 catches, 364 yards, and a touchdown. He's a really good athlete for a guy his size. He's got a really good hand. He's great in run blocking. There's no reason why this guy should not be a very good tight end in this league. Only going to be 25 years old. So we'll take on a slightly bigger role with John Smith not there anymore, at least as the tight end too. Who knows? Maybe he unseats Pat Freiermuth as the tight end one. I doubt it. Freiermuth is a good player, but Washington does get extended. I think this will work out in the long run for the Steelers. He's still just 25. This is a very old roster. They need to identify some sort of young core at some point. And Washington is a very small start, but it's a start nonetheless. He gets extended. The Packers extend wide receiver Christian Watson, 4 years, $110.5 million. They pay $31 million signing bonus. Now, not a lot of guaranteed money, but I don't like this deal. Christian Watson has not played a full season ever. He has missed multiple games in every single season that he has played. He has missed at least 7 games in 2 of the seasons that he has played. He has never had more than 41 catches in a season. He has never had more than 620 yards in the season. Now, he can be a legit deep threat. He averages per catch uh, 17 yards per reception for his career. That's intriguing. This is a guy who puts up 5, 6, 7 touchdowns even in 9, 10 games sometimes. He has about 4 or 5 games every year where he has, a couple of 40-yard passes, a couple of touchdowns. He also has a lot of games where he has multiple drops and seems invisible and gives up on his route. He's very injury prone. Yeah, he's only going for 27 years old. But if you're Green Bay, if you didn't sign Romeo Dobbs, who's younger and more reliable for less money, and to sign Watson, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And look, they're not paying a whole lot of guys. You're paying Jordan Love, you're paying Michael Parsons, you're paying Josh Jacobs. Other than that, you're not paying that many guys on that team. That's a younger team. But you're also paying Jordan Love $53 million. I think he has, what, one, maybe two playoff ones in his career. Micah Parsons, you gave obviously all that money. You gave him $45 million a season, and he is incredible. He's also injured right now and might miss half the year this coming season. Jacobs make what 10, 11 million. He's in legal trouble right now. Very good player, but was banged up last year as well. That's why you had to move on from Elton Jenkins, a Pro Bowl center. That's why you had to move on from Romeo Dobbs. You didn't even bring back Emmanuel Wilson, who was a very key piece as a running back two last year behind a banged up Josh Jacobs. So I do think Dobbs was overpaid slightly by the New England Patriots, but he got what, 4 for 70? That comes to what, 17.5 million dollars a year, something like that. I'd rather pay Romeo Dobbs, who's what, a year or two younger than Watson and more reliable from a health perspective, and probably just as good. Watson's maybe a little bit more talented, but Dobbs has some better counting stats so far in his career. I would have rather paid him 17.5 than pay Watson 27. Like the 15th highest paid receiver, that's not crazy, but Watson's not a top 15 receiver in the league, not on this planet. He's making more money than George Pickens, who was what, third in the league in receiving last year. I'm not even a George Pickens fan. That guy's a really good receiver. He had a huge year last year, and he makes less than Christian Watson, who last year he didn't even clear. He hardly cleared 600 yards and missed 7 games with injuries. So Watson got extended. I do not like that deal for the Green Bay Packers. It could age really well. It's possible. It's like I mentioned with Darnell Washington. That's one of those things. You're paying him for what he's going to do in a year or two, maybe not what he's done so far. But if his health doesn't clean up and he doesn't really make strides in this next year or two, okay, it's going to be 27 this season. This is going to look rough. You're paying, 110 million for a wide receiver three, maybe if things go south. Is does not look good. Hockey, real quick. First of all, keep tabs on the Stanley Cup final. It's been really entertaining so far. First game, Davis comes back and wins 5-4. Last night, Canes win in overtime 4-3. Seth Jarvis with the game winner, so it's a game apiece. Right now, as the series shifts to Vegas for game three. Uh, for 2 minutes not in the Cup final, the Detroit Red Wings. Dylan Larkin has requested the trade. No, let's be honest. So why does Steve Yzerman have a job? I get that guy's a legend, one of the greatest Red Wings players of all time, one of the greatest NHL players of all time. He is a horrific general manager. He's been there 7 years. They haven't been to playoffs once. They collapse every year in the springtime. Enough is enough. Why does that guy still have a job? Okay, every year he does the same crap. He pretends like he cares when he doesn't. This Yzer plan, that plan failed years ago. Larkin's been there 11 years. He's your captain. I like doing Larkin a lot. He's a very good player. But one, he's on the line with nobody. It's not a well-coached group. It's a very undisciplined group. This is a guy who, he's from that area. He could have left, probably gotten more money a few years ago, decided to stay, sign that big extension. You made him the captain. And that's the guy that still was like, enough is enough. I'm out. That's a really bad sign for the Detroit Red Wings. Now, I don't think Joe Larkin is a first line center. I think he's an excellent second line center. The reason he was on the U.S. Olympic team was a major part of it. But I don't think he's a first line center at this level. At least for a championship team, he needs to be a second line center, which I think he makes sense. Maybe for a team like Montreal, it's got Cole Caulfield that has all that those young stars, has Slavkovsky, all those guys. Bring him in. Montreal has a pool of young pieces to sell off in the farm. Get a couple of them, send them over there. He could be the missing piece for Montreal, if you ask me. I think that even Philadelphia, a team that's young on the cusp, made the playoffs here. You surprised people beating Pittsburgh in the first round. Has a lot of young pieces, has a lot of money to spend. Could bring in his contract. Could probably make the trade work. I think a guy like that would really benefit that group and possibly put them really into some serious contention in the Eastern Conference. So, looking to request a trade, I'm sure in the coming weeks and months he will be dealt from the Detroit Red Wings. They do need to shake up that core somehow because something's got to give over there. With baseball, the Boston Red Sox are sending Brian Bayo to the minor leagues. Bayo last year had a very good season, but this year has not been good at all. He has an ERA of 6.43. He gave up 6 runs in the first inning in his last start against Baltimore. Was really, really bad. And he's being sent to the minor leagues as the disastrous year for Boston continues. The manager change did not help whatsoever. Chad Tracy's coming in. His sixth team in 18. They've been just as bad as when they were with Alex Cora. It's been a rough year for the Boston Red Sox. Proves that what the Phillies did in firing Rob Thompson and promoting Don Mattingly interim manager, that doesn't work for every team. Don Mattingly is a baseball lifer. He's been a manager before. He's managed in the playoffs a lot before with the Dodgers and with the Marlins. Obviously, should be a Hall of Fame player. He had a great career as a player with the Yankees. To me, he should be in the Hall of Fame as a player, in my opinion. But you look at the Red Sox. There was no one on the staff that could hold his jockstrap. Even resume wise, like Chad Tracy's a former death piece as a player, was coaching in the minor leagues. Something like Flower Kaufman does it for the Mets. I mean, they can't. They need somebody with some balls, but they don't have that in their organization. Like bringing in Carlos Beltran will do nothing. Promoting whoever the hell's on that staff will do nothing. So might as well just ride it out. Hope that it gets better. If it doesn't, you just fire everybody anyway. Bayout to the minors. Yankees suffer a major injury. Uh, Three-time MVP out there, Aaron Judge, has suffered a stress fracture in his rib. He's going to miss 4 to 6 weeks. Really tough loss for the Yankees. Judge, I will say a slight down year for him. I think he's starting to look on a tiny bit, but still a great player, at least in the regular season. We all know what happens in the playoffs, but so far hitting 248, 17 home runs, 38 RBIs, 375 on base, 533 slugging, 907 OPS. Now, for his career, this is a 291 career hitter. His on-base for his career is 411. Slugging for his career is 611. His OPS for his career is over 1,000. By the way, it's just incredible. That's why I don't know why he's a 230 hitter in the playoffs. So he's slight downtick from his career average, but still, this is a guy that's still on pace of probably close to 50 home runs. But his run production is way down. His batting average is way down. His slash run is still good. 370 on base, 500 plus slugging, 900 OPS, still really good. But, this is a guy who's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. 3-time MVP right now, 7-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year, 5-time Silver Slugger. So, he's going to the Hall of Fame one day. But he is 34. So, I'm not sure if that'll mean his recovery time will be a little longer. Yankees have a lot of depth in the outfield with Trent Grisham, Cody Bellinger, Max Schumann, the young kid, Dominguez and Jones. But Yankees are in spots where they're a very old team. They're running out of time. The window's starting to close. Aaron Boone's been there 9 years. Cashman's been there forever. And, nothing to show for it. They are definitely running out of time. So I think you got to go all in at this deadline. I don't know why they ran back this group to begin with in free agency, to be honest. But Yankees are going to be losing Aaron Judge for a while. He'll be out 4 to 6 weeks. Let's continue my NBA offseason preview series. We're going to start today with the Memphis Grizzlies, continuing in the Western Conference. Memphis, another long year for them. Where do you even start? Of course, he dealt Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Jazz last year. I think you need to continue to get younger. You should have a lot of draft capital. You got four protected first back for Desmond Bain before the year. You got a bunch of capital back and some young pieces for Jaron Jackson at the deadline. You got to trade John Morant. I know his value is not very high right now. He's a guy who's got injury concerns. He's got some major character concerns. He cannot shoot a three to save his life. He doesn't play a whole lot of defense. Last year, he had the worst year of his second season in the league, and from an efficiency standpoint, was probably the worst since his rookie season, at least stats wise. He only played 20 games last year, was injured most of the year. He averaged 19 points, such as 23% from three, was shooting like 8% from three at one point in the beginning of the year. He's a guy who great slasher, can get to the basket, is a really good athlete for a guy his size, at just 6'2", which is very small in the NBA in today's league. Great free throw shooter, but terrible 3-point shooter. Can't shoot. Doesn't play much defense. Injury risk, character concerns. He is still 27 years old, which is helpful. He's still a young guy. He's going to be 27 next year. But he's got 2 years left on his deal. He's due $4.1 million this coming year. He's due almost $45 million in 2028. I don't know what his value is. It can't be very high, especially for a guy that has missed over half a season worth of games over the last 2 seasons. He has never played a full season in his career. He's never played 70 games in a season. He's played no more than 61 over the last 5 years. It has been 3 full seasons he's been an All-Star. This is a guy who came into the league, his rookie of the year in 2020. He was most improved player and second team All-NBA in 2022. He was an All-Star again in 2023, but last 3 years has just gotten worse and worse and worse. And I just think you can't build around undersized player. And I hate saying that because as a Knicks fan, I'm a Jalen Brunson guy through and through, and you can build around undersized guys. We've seen it happen. The Sixers would have won a ring if it wasn't for Michael Jordan and Kobe and Shaq with Allen Iverson. Knicks won the finals with Jalen Brunson. Golden State has won four of Stephen Curry. But yeah, the guy can't shoot and doesn't play any defense. Like all he really brings is some slashing and some funny dunks. That's really all he brings to the table to me. So you get something for him. I know his value isn't high, but get something back for John Morant. For the rest of his team, couple of young pieces that I do like. I like Taylor Hendricks. You get him for Jaron Jackson. I think he can be a good player. I've been banging the table since his college days. I think Walter Clayton Jr. is a dog. I think that guy can be a good player in this league. He was on that Florida team that won a Natty 2 seasons ago. Got drafted. You just take a shot at him. They trade him to Memphis. I really think with extended playing time, that guy can be a good player. I like such a coward a lot. He was an all-rookie guy this year. Mutt's the one's Zaidi, but I think he's like a fine number two big. But still 24 years old. G.G. Jackson's a former second team all-rookie guy. He's still 22. Jalen Wells is pretty good. He's still 23. Maybe this kid Oliver Maxence Prosper, so 24, can become something. So they have a couple of young guys. He signed Ty Jerome, was like a veteran solid piece last year. Sometimes Doma isn't a bad player. So you have a couple of young pieces I think could be solid. You have a ton of draft capital next year. You almost end up in the top four. You have the Lakers pick. You're gonna have the Utah pick next year. You have the Magic pick unless it's looks like almost like the second or third pick. You're gonna have the Magic pick in 29. You have the Magic pick in 2030. You have the Suns pick in 2031. So this team has a lot of draft picks. Okay, they have a lot. They could have 3 first-round picks next year. You get picks this year. So if I'm Memphis, really capitalize these next couple of years in this draft, get something for Ja, and really see what you have with this young core. But moving along, next team we're going to cover is the Dallas Mavericks. So Dallas, rough year this year, a lot of injuries. Cooper Flag was literally the only bright spot. Of course, Masai Ujiri's coming in, taking over as team president. He already brought in his own general manager, and they're looking for a new coach as well. Look, I think this is a team with a lot of talent on it. Cooper Flag, I think, is going to be an absolute superstar. He's still 20 years old, a great rookie year. And this team has a lot of health issues. But Kyrie Irving was injured all last season from a torn ACL. what would he look like coming off a year not playing from a torn ACL at 34 of all the injuries that he's had? I don't know. But this is one of the most talented point guard the league has seen in the last 15 years. And I don't like the guy. I'm the fairest thing from a fan. How many rants have I had on this guy? He's kept his nose clean for the most part these last couple of years. But that is an extremely talented basketball player for sure. And if Derek Love can ever stay healthy, that guy can be a really good stretch five in this league for sure. Gafford's a solid big man. I like PJ Washington. He's a good player. Even Max Christie played very well last year. He's just 23 years old. AJ Johnson, I don't think is anything special, but still just 22. So they have a solid core already on this team. Obviously, still suffering from the Luka trade, but you do have some picks next year. Charlotte, as long as they don't have the first or second, you're going to have Charlotte's pick next year in 2028. You have swap rights with the Oklahoma City Thunder. You're going to have the Lakers pick in 2029. You're going to have Golden State's pick uh, possibly in 2030. So this team has a good amount of draft picks for sure. Now they have some money to spend. They're not paying a whole lot of guys outside of Kyrie, who's I've making 40 million. You have money to bring in to add some pieces. If I'm Dallas in a really loaded Western Conference, I go out and make a couple of moves because with Cooper Flag on my team and next year he gets to play with Kyrie Irving, and hopefully guys like PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, and Derek Lively can stay somewhat healthy. This could be a relatively solid group. In fact, I thought this year at the Real, they could have been a good team, but also didn't happen. AD gets hurt, gets traded. We all know what happened with the Luka trade, but thankfully they can start fresh with a new regime coming in. And the last thing we're going to cover is the Los Angeles Clippers. Well, what do I even say? They gotta trade Kawhi. Kawhi is going to the Hall of Fame one day. He's gonna be 35 years old. He's in the last year of his contract. He's due almost $50.5 million. Trade him for something. And the guy is still a baller. He actually has stayed mostly healthy this last year and a half, 2 seasons, which has been a surprise. I mean, 65 games here for him, that's saying something. So I think someone will take him. Yes, he's going to miss games. And yes, he's going to be 35. Yes, he's in the last year of his deal. But this is also a guy this year. He had the best year of his career, stats wise. He averaged damn near 28 points a game. He averaged 6 boards, 3 assists. He shot, let's see, he shot 50% from the field and 38% from three. So statistically, Kawhi may be the first or second best year of his career. And this guy's resume speaks for himself. Seven-time All-Star, seven-time All-Defense guy, seven-time All-NBA guy. 2 rings, 2 Finals MVPs on two different teams. Only like 3 or 4 guys have done that. The guy's an incredible player. Was all rookie in 2012. Had led the league in steals in 2015. The guy is just an incredible basketball player. I think when healthy is still the best two-way player in the NBA, in my opinion. So somebody will give you something for Kawhi Leonard. We get as much if he was 31 and had 3 years left on his deal than for a guy who's 35 with health issues and going into the last year of his deal. You either gotta, say, all right, he's a rental, or we gotta extend him and make that work. No, but you should still get something good for one of the, I think, 15 to 20 best players still in the NBA, in Kawhi Leonard. And the rest of this group is, I like Darius Garland. I don't like that contract, making over 40 million every season. Only going to get worse, but still 27, very good scoring point guard. The rest of this group is ancient. Bogdanovich is 34. Even Derrick Jones Jr., who sucks, he's 29. Brook Lopez is 38. Nick Batum is 38. Chris Dunn, who doesn't even play much, is 32. Bradley Beal is 33. Was injured all season last year. This team does not have a single young piece on it, really, besides Darius Garland. So I'm not sure where they even go. You don't even have a lot of pieces to trade. You have a good amount of picks. Next year, you're gonna have the Thunder. Thunder might still have your pick. Uh, they actually might. But after that, the trade's pretty much almost over. You're gonna have the Indiana pick in 29. You have swap rights with Philadelphia that year as well. So you actually do have all your draft picks going forward. You have a decent amount of picks coming up. You have the fifth pick in this year's draft, which you have to hit on. You have to nail that pick at number five. No ends if or buts. Just blow this thing up. Bogdanovich has a team option for 16 million. Brook Lopez has a team option for 9.1 million. Batum is 5.8 million. And you have a couple small ones. Jordan Millers is 2.4 million. Kobe Sanders is 2.1 million. If you want to keep those two guys, fine. Batum, Lopez, and Bogdanovich are all old. Trade those three guys for something and trade Kawhi. Just stockpile picks. Try and clean up your payroll. And just try and get younger because this team is ancient. It's one thing when you're old and your team is still good and competing. It's like, all right, just make sure you win one in the next 2 years. This team is at best a first round exit. It's been that way for years. So blow this team up. It needs to be blown to smithereens for a long time. That's all I got for you guys today. Till next time, so long. Have a great day.